Okay, welcome back, listing queens. We have another listing queen with us, and it is my friend Michelle Coteau. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, so excited to be here.
Oh, thank you. I'm so thrilled to showcase you to these thousands of women who are, some of them are listing queens and they just want fresh ideas. Others are saying, man, I'm a listing queen in training. So we're here for all of you.
Yeah.
So ladies, I want to just give you a background on Michelle. Michelle's a single mom. She's on a team, great high producing team. And when I met her years ago as a client of mine, she was just not feeling the, I'm going to call it, the boy way of networking. I mean, the boy way of lead gen. Pound the phones, go, 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 work 24/7, do, that kind of thing. All right. And anyway, so let's get into it. Michelle, and she's a single mom, and I just adore her, and her results have, enabled her to pay off debt, enabled her to buy a home for her and her daughter, and now a new kitty. And so she's living the good life. So Michelle, what I would want to start with is talk to and share with everybody what you were thinking when you, as a CEO, ladies, we're going to decide. Okay. And one day, Michelle decided to go a different way. Just bring us back there, because I think that was like maybe 2.5, 3 years ago. Tell us what you were thinking when you said, you know what, I love my team leader. I'm committed to making the numbers, but I'm going to do it my way. Can you just bring us back there?
Yeah, so I do, and I'm probably the longest member of any team in the existence of real estate. I have been on my team for about 15 years now. And you're right, Jan. When I first joined you about 2.5 to 3 years ago, I was frustrated. I was burnout. I was not happy, considering getting out of the business. And I was looking for something different. And I didn't know what different was, because I was always like trained to make those cold calls, get those contacts in, cold call, cold call, cold call. And I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy my business. And now I freaking love it. Like, I love my clients. I love what I do. And I sat down with my team leader and I said, this isn't working for me. You gotta let me be free, and I need to do things my way. You can either agree with this or we have to part ways. And he agreed, of course. I mean, he didn't want to lose me. And so I did. So I just started doing things the way that I wanted to do things, the way that, I mean, Jan, you've been a huge part of this. I mean, I probably wouldn't have found this success. I'm sure I would have, but it wouldn't have been this way. It would have been in some sort of different way.
Yeah.
And I just freaking enjoy everything I do. I love, like, who loves door knocking? I do. I went door knocking. I went to the dollar store, got these cute little pink bags. I put some fun, like, little sunglasses in there. And I was like, and I went and door knocked the neighborhood. I mean, those are things that I probably wouldn't have enjoyed before. And now I love doing. I don't
Oh, I
mind.
love that. I'm sorry. I have to stop you there because, ladies, some of you are saying door knocking, and she does other things, which we're going to get into. So stay tuned. Okay. But notice what she said. Okay. She wouldn't have loved door knocking before, but she loves it now because she's doing it on her standards. And so let's talk about, and so we'll get into that, but let's kind of get more into that then. And I didn't tell you that she's been a realtor for 20 years and on this team for 15. So anyway, all right. So, and number one on the team. So Michelle, tell us about how you decide and use your creativity now that you didn't before, because before you were given maybe the dialer and you were just like, making phone calls. Okay. But talk to us about how you inserted your creativity and who you are, how you do that now, because you are a joy to watch on social media. So share that with us.
So I would say that before I started following you, I was just the average boring realtor. That there was no wow factor. There was nothing. And now the way that I look at my business and my clients now is I want to love them. I want to treat them the way that I want to be treated. I love to entertain. I love to throw parties. I love to give presents. So when I show up on a listing appointment, I never go to someone's home. If you invite me to dinner, I'm never going to come to your home empty-handed. If you invite me into your home for a listing presentation, I am never going to come empty-handed. I bring flowers, I bring pastries, I bring whatever the moment calls for, but just something different, something that no one else thinks of. It's the little touches. Just like now, when I said I went door knocking, it's because I farmed the neighborhood I live in, and it's part of my plan. So every so often I go through my neighborhood, but I make it fun. I have like walking down the streets with pretty pink bags and little cutesy stuff in it. And, I just like enhance on my farming. So I'm not just like, hey, I'm like, hey, I'm here, and if they have kids, they love it because I just like throw all these fun like bubbles. It's beautiful out. So bubbles, whatever it may be. But I like to just put the extra touch on all of on my clients, on everything that I do now. And I relate a lot of the, single moms or moms that are going through a divorce or, I'm big in cheerleading. They all reach out to me. So that's what I attract. They're my tribe.
Yes. And ladies, she's just so dumping so much gold there. Ladies, I want you to watch and rewatch this because she made a decision. And I want you to hear what she said. She said that she was thinking about leaving the business because she was forced. Women, do we like to be forced to do anything? No. We want to do our own thing. I'm sorry, now I'm getting a call. Oh gosh, let me come back. Oh gosh, stop calling me. So anyway, ladies, what I want you to really notice is that Michelle made a decision and then she went all in. And the client experience, okay? So she is thinking of them. The reason that a lot of women realtors suffer is because all we do is think about us. Will they like us? Why can't I have enough? It's always focused on you when you say, no, I'm done with that. And by the way, Michelle was always a top realtor making over 100,000, but now she's making it her way. And if I'm not mistaken, doubled her income.
Yes.
And she's on her way to tripling it because the next thing I want to bring up is that Michelle is known for, she decided that her value is exceptional. And so she gets 7% listings all the time. Nope. But what percentage of the time do you get 7% listings? And talk to us about your strategy because I love it.
I'll be honest. So probably a minimum of 75% of the time I get 7% listings.
Yeah.
Rarely ever do I go under 6. It's got to be something special.
Yes.
And how do I do that? I walk in the door, and I know when I walk in the door, I psych myself up in the car. I put my music on and I do my power stretch and I say my prayers and I do all the good things, right? And I know when I walk in that door, I deserve 7%. I'm going to give them that 5-star treatment. They're going to get a 7% listing agent. And
bravo. There you go. Keep going. I'm sorry. I had to give you a bravo on that.
No, it's okay, because I believe, the 5-star service is all the extras they're going to get with me, all the extra marketing, all the extra attention. I am on a team, so I have a great support system. I have a listing manager. If there's problems, there's people to call, and I'm available. And when I'm not available, my team's available. So I go the extra mile. When things start to go south, expect an edible arrangement from me. I'm going to pick you up. I'm going to bring your emotions back up to your happiness. And so you're like, wow, okay, so we didn't get that offer accepted, but look what Michelle just sent us. How cool is this, right? So it's all the little details, all the extras that you do that grabs the attention. And then they tell their best friend, and then they tell their friend. And then it just goes on and on and on.
Okay, and that's very good. So 75% ladies of the listings she takes is at 7%. So the next question is, I want you to share with them that you have a net sheet.
I do.
So you never write 7%.
We don't even talk.
She identifies her list price and then she just figures it out. But can you share that?
Absolutely. So a lot of times I don't even mention the percentage, right? That's the last on my list. I'm there for them to love me and to want to be with me. And at the end, they're willing to do whatever that takes. However, I don't go into like, I take 7%. Those words rarely come out of my mouth because I ask them, what is it that you want to get for your home? Right. Mm-hmm. And so we go through the numbers. So if it's, we listed at 300,000, I'll do the net sheet. So minus the real estate fee, minus in New York State, we have a transfer tax, minus that, minus their attorney fee. I get to the bottom line and I say, if we sell in this ballpark, is this a number that you're willing to accept? And 90% of the time they say yes.
Yes. Yes.
And that's 7%. And you don't even have to say it.
Right. I want everybody to understand that it's not a problem for Michelle because it's not a problem for Michelle. Okay. I want you to really hear that. Her brain doesn't see the problem. Her brain sees her value because of the Ritz-Carlton 5-star experience that she proactively figures out ahead of time. She calls it, her signature methodology is the perfect method. Okay. So she decided ahead of time, that's what I coach on, is you decide ahead of time, what do you feel great about? And then you can get behind, you're never salesy because you're like, dang, my clients get to walk into this experience with me and they're happy. She just circled the bottom line and said, how's this look? If you walk away with this, does that look good? Great, let's go. And Michelle, correct me if I'm wrong, but you bring paperwork with you. And you get it signed right then. Am I right?
Every time.
Yeah. So when on the maybe like 20% of the time when they say, okay, I'm not sure about that number, do you go right to the 7% or do you how do you approach that?
So when they say that to me, first of all, everything's negotiable, right?
Yeah.
So when they say that to me, typically, when I take a listing at 7%, that gives me more power. I have more control. Right. So when we're in negotiations with a purchase offer and we're off by a few $1,000s, or, a refrigerator needs to be replaced, or I've bought a lot of appliances in my lifetime, or, the landscaping needs to be done. I have room when I take a listing at 7% to offer to give back. So, and I do, and I will, and I don't always have to. But if I take a listing at 5%, there's no room. I can't do anything for you. I can't do anything for you.
And I know what you do is you ask questions. You're like, oh, that's not going to be enough. Talk to me about that. Right. So you always ask questions when someone says, like, I'm talking about specifically the net sheet. When you circle that, does that look good to you? And if they like, oh, I wanted more, then you're like, okay, how much more? What are we talking? Because ladies, one of the attributes of being a listing queen is that you know your market, you know your numbers. So then she can find out from a place of curiosity, what are they thinking? How much more do they want? And then you could say, oh, great. Guess what? This is the right price. What we can do is to enhance your presentation. So how about I pick up your landscaping or painting your front door? Sometimes your front door and your shutters are disgusting. Let me do that for you. And then my hope in that, or my goal in that rather, is that you will get multiple offers and we'll go over this. This is a worst case scenario, right? So am I right? That's kind of the thought process behind that.
You're 1,000% correct. And sometimes when we get to that point and they say, oh, I wanted to get this amount of money. I mean, this doesn't work because our market's not always the way it is today, right? So this doesn't always work, but sometimes I like to use round numbers. So somebody wants to, they want to walk away with 300,000 for their home. Right now, if I were to list their home for 325, it's probably still going to sell for the 325, and we're going to cover that commission anyways.
Yeah.
So as long as their numbers make sense, I can still add my 7% in, and they still get what they want at the end of the day. And I have to do everything in my power to make sure they get that. And I do.
That's right. That's right. Because of your commitment ahead of time. And this isn't the topic of your call, but of your summit interview, but Michelle follows a process that she created from a framework that I gave her as her coach. And like I said, she calls it the perfect method. So she has milestones within the whole process that she is committed to getting her clients exceptional service. That includes a nice simple process that they enjoy, and at the end of the day, a nice proceeds check or a deposit into their account. So talk to the ladies and share where your brain goes. Like you had talked about what you do before you get into a listing appointment. Can you share about when someone reaches out to you? I want to go back to your social media. So your social media, you repeat with delight. Like right now, you're having a spring spruce up.
Yeah.
For your listings, you're encouraging listings. And then last month, you and a couple of your peers, nothing from me or anybody else, you and your peers got together and said, hey, let's do a listings challenge. Can you just talk about the fun that you have and the repeating with delight in your social media, however you want to, go with that?
Yeah. So as a single mom, it's a lot easier for me to work with listings because I have a all-star cheerleader. We travel a lot and it's very expensive. So because of that, I focus on taking listings, and you'll see that all over my social media. That's all I talk about. I mean, I'm not going to say that I don't take on a buyer. However, listings are my focus. So like last month, I was randomly, like I have a bunch of networking groups that I'm in with other realtors, local realtors, and actually not even local. This was a bunch from everywhere. Anyways, so we're on a call one day and we said, let's do a listing contest within our group. We didn't like throw money in and say, oh, this person gets that or that person gets this. We had our own personal goals. So we set a goal of 30 lists. I set a goal of 30 listings in 30 days. Some people set more, some people set less. So 30 listing appointments, let me be clear, 30 listing appointments in 30 days. What do I have to lose? I have nothing to lose. What if I set 15 listing appointments in 30 days? That's a great month, right? So I believe at the end of the day, I did set close to 15 listing appointments and took 5 listings and have more coming from that, right? But all I did was rinse and repeat. Hey guys, it's Michelle Dakota, Sell with Michelle. I'm in a listing contest. Who can help me this week? And it's easy, it's simple, and it's not complicated, and it's fun. And people are like, oh, they would share my post, or, I had someone in my neighborhood that I farm. Hey, Michelle, how much is our home worth? Stop over. I mean, that's all it was. Like, give me 15 minutes of your time.
Right.
Is all I needed.
I love it. Okay. So I love, ladies, notice she proactively collaborates. I know she made friends with several people in the CEO Agent Academy, and they've been buddies, right? And so you can't do this alone. It's fun, right? And so who wants 15 listing appointments in the next 30 days? Me, right? Of course you do. And who wants 5? Who wants to sign 5 listings in 30 days, right? And have some that said, yeah, yes, but I am not going to list until Johnny graduates high school in June, right? So how many do you have coming, like from this exercise? Like another 3, 4, or 5?
I'd say a minimum of another 3 or 4.
Okay. So ladies, this is beautiful. And it just created, ladies, we're creating something from nothing. Now I want to go directly to your social media strategy, because it's not about number of followers, right? Like I have clients who come to me with 50,000 followers. They bought some because they thought that would make them look better. I have 2 people that happened to. And other people that have like 8,000 and they're not even making 100,000. So ladies, please understand that number of followers does not mean a hill of beans. Okay. Don't make it mean something, but talk to us about your social media strategy, because it so works for you. Because you wake up, tell me, you tell us, do you wake up and have messages or DMs in your thing? Talk to us about how you approach social media.
So I look at social media like all of these people that are my friends on social media are just waiting to do business with and I think I got that from you, Chan, that they're in a waiting room waiting to do business with me, right? So I treat them all as my friend, and I bring them into my life. Like, this is our crazy day. This is like my crazy weekend with my daughter, and yet I still got this home under contract, right? So yes, I'm busy. People love it, and they also see that I'm a go-getter and I get things done. And I do a lot of messaging. I message, like, I'll do a video. Hey, thanks so much for being my friend. How can I help you? How can I serve you? What can I do for you? Reach out to me. I don't need to say that I'm a realtor. They already know I'm a realtor. So how can I help them? And I do a quick little 10, 15-second video, and I could copy and paste all day long. And I don't even know how many followers. Like, Facebook, I have more than Instagram, but it's not really, for me, those people that are following me, like especially Facebook, they know me. They've been following me. They've been seeing my daughter like grow up on social media, and within reason. And they know what I do, and they know how hard I work. And I'm constantly getting referrals from social media. Social media is my friend.
Yes. And social media, her brain says social media is my friend. And she said the word friends, like I treat them all like they're my friends, but she also treats them like every one of them is her client.
Yeah.
Like every one of them is a VIP. So one more thing that you did really well, and you continue to do really well, is insert yourself into local events and invite your people. Hey, I'm going to be at the such and such. Want to come join me? And also, when you moved into your house, you said, this is going to be my farm, and you really serve them. And last year you put together an amazing event that I give you such huge accolades for, because ladies, when you do a big event like she's going to describe, there's a lot of moving parts, and she got sponsors and everything else. So I know we don't have a whole lot of time, but can you just tell us like how you came up with the idea, what the idea was, and how things went?
So real quick, so I had 2 events. One was the last day of school. I wanted the families. I wanted to get to know my neighbors. The kids get to know my daughter. I wanted to get like this street and that street. I wanted the whole neighbor to come over. So I rented Mr. Dingling, our ice cream truck. So last day of school, free ice cream for everybody. Literally cost me $150. I mean, and it was the best thing ever. I handed out waters with my logo on it so that people had something to take back. I had bubbles with my logo on it, and it was easy. So that went all over the neighborhood Facebook page. We have 2 big pages in here that everyone who lives in this neighborhood follows. So that was number 1. And then they said, off of that, they said, oh, wow, that was such a great idea, Michelle. We should do a block party. There's 1,500 homes in this neighborhood. I don't know whose block we're going to do it on. And that's a lot for me to take on. I found a new brewery within 3 to 5 miles of where we live, found a new brewery. So I got the venue for free. I went out after my My home inspector, what can you do for me? My mortgage person that I send most of my business to, my attorney friend, my real estate attorney in New York. We have real estate attorneys. I went to everyone I knew, and oh my gosh, I got the best giveaways. I had neighborhood signs made up, so on all the main intersections, we called it the Geyser Crest Oktoberfest.
Right. Wait, Geyser Crest is the name of her neighborhood. And she called it the Geyser Crest Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
And it was at a brewery, and she got sponsorship help.
Yeah.
But because it was a new brewery, they wanted her neighborhood to come in there. And so she didn't pay anything for that. And what was the outcome for you personally, as a person, and then for your business?
I had probably 150 people show up to the event, where I got all of their sign-in information. And off of that, I continue on that list. I continue to do sporadic little pop-bys in my neighborhood, door knock in my neighborhood, and I stay active on the Facebook page.
That's awesome. And you've gotten listings in there.
Yes.
You have made personal, it's neat because now you have somebody you can walk with and you have personal relationships.
Yes.
So, and did you enjoy it?
It was the best time ever. And it cost me, I paid for balloons.
That's amazing.
That's it. I had a food truck. I didn't have to pay for the food truck. I didn't have to pay for anything. And this is all lined up to do again for free next year, or this October.
Now, I want everybody to know that the way you got the truck for free is because these people had to pay for their own food.
Yeah.
But ladies, what I want you to understand is we think we have to do everything. I got to pay for everything. No, you are the leader. You are the orchestrator. She brought community together. And the bar, if they wanted I think you gave them one drink or they got like a discount. You didn't give them any drinks, but they got like, when they walked in, didn't they get a chance to win something
I did all local events. So it was October. That's a big time of year in upstate New York. So I had corn mazes, haunted houses, apple picking, Christmas tree farm. I had local taverns that people like to go to in the fall, like in the middle of the farms and so forth.
Yeah.
I thought about this. I put a lot of thought in where I wanted the prizes to come from, because I wanted it to be family oriented. So this place had live music this day. I didn't pay for I didn't pay for any of this. It was all donated.
Right. So the fact is, ladies, that if you if this is something you like, right? If this doesn't resonate with you, then fine. Go with what Michelle said about how to get 7% listings, right? But this event, I trained more about this, and you just took this to a whole new level, because you do not have to be the payer of everything. You be the leader, you be the orchestrator. And she really thinks, ladies, that's the thing. You got to sit back and think, what would my neighbors want? And she's like, oh, they'd want something from the Christmas tree farm. They'd want this, they'd want that. And she reached out, and guess what she's becoming? Known and networked as a leader within other peers, with other entrepreneurs. So in closing, I just want to ask you one thing. So how does it feel to be a CEO agent who is a listing queen? How do you approach your days, right? How does it feel? Not all the time. Look, 80% of the time, right?
I mean, how does it feel? There's days I feel guilty, because I look at my income sometimes at the end of the year and I'm like, that was easy. I could do more, right? Sometimes I feel like I don't do enough, but I am doing enough, and I enjoy it. So I feel like, I don't really feel like I'm working, even though I am. Everything I do is intentional and purposeful. So there's a reason, if you see me post something on social media, there's a reason behind that. This morning on my story, it was a little tidbit about my morning with my daughter. My messages have blown up on Instagram because everyone can relate what it's like to live with a kid or a teenager, right? the majority of people, or
Yeah.
even like your husband or a significant other. I mean, whatever it may be. So, I mean, that all that does, it's just more connections. It's just more connections. And that's really what my day is about. How many people can I connect with today?
I love it. Michelle, thank you so much. Such gold nuggets. And where can they find you on Instagram, and where can they find you on Facebook?
So Instagram is Michelle_sells homes.
Mhm.
And on Facebook, just, I mean, Michelle Dakota.
Okay. And they'll know how to spell your name. Thank you so much, Michelle. Ladies, it's gold. We really appreciate you sharing, Michelle.
You're welcome. Thank you.